Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. All right, it's time for another installment of the Doctor Spell Prognosis. And today we are talking about the first level spell, Silvery Barbs. I, of course, am going to give this spell an S because it is one of the spells that changes combat pretty drastically. It's very superior. It's used at least once in every combat if it can be used, probably more times if it can be used, and if more people can use it. It is a first level spell. It is usable by bards, sorcerers, and wizards, and there are many ways to get this because it is an enchantment spell. So you can also get this from Fey Touched or Magic Initiate. Many different ways to get this spell. It is a reaction, and there's an asterisk. It says, which you take when a creature you can see, you have to be able to see them within 60 feet of yourself, succeeds on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. So that's a big one. The ability checks, not so much, unless it's something like pushing something off a cliff into, that's 1,000 feet up or into a pool of lava. Then you want them to fail, say, a strength check to resist that. But the biggies are the attack rolls and the saving throw. So it has a range of 60 feet, which is a great range, and it's only a verbal component, which means you don't need your arms or material components. And it is enchantment, which does widen the range of who can get it with feats. So, you magically distract a triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must re-roll a 20 and use the lower roll. So that means if they rolled a 5 and you made them re-roll and they rolled a 3, they have to take the 3. If they rolled a 5 and you made them re-roll and they got a 13, they'd have to take the 5. They have to take the lower roll. You can choose a different creature that you can see within range. So there's more. You can choose a creature you can see within a different range. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute. And you can only empower a creature once. So that is immensely powerful. You get one reaction a turn, and say someone casts a spell on a creature and you really want that creature to fail, then you can Silvery Barbs that roll that they make, and you can make them take the lower of the two rolls. And a lot of times, a lot of combats hinge off of spells that if they fail a save, then they're done. Like a hold person or a hold monster, then, if you can make them fail that save, they're held, they're helpless, they're paralyzed, and then the rest of the party can just wail on them and crit them. Another very powerful way to use this is to trigger this off when a crit happens against someone, including yourself, and then you'll most likely change that crit into not a crit. And I've seen this used almost exclusively for that ability. Another way to use this is to change a hit to a lower roll if your tank is low on hit points and they're being hit. When should this be used? I say you need to use a little common sense and logic about statistics for this. If you've got a creature that just rolled a 10, then I would leave it alone. If it's more than a 10, then the odds are that they're going to roll lower on the next roll. And, of course, those odds that they're going to roll lower go higher the higher that they rolled. 15 or better on a 20-sided die, absolutely make them re-roll it. And the chances are they're going to have a lower roll. And they have to take the lower of the two rolls. It says they use the lower of the rolls. So, that's extremely important. You have to gauge when to use this. But there are so many situations that it is. Now, I have seen a lot of banter and discourse about whether this should be banned or not. If there's only one player in the party that has this spell, that probably is not a reason to ban this spell. But I have seen parties where there are 2 or 3 players at the table who have this spell, and there's no critical hits for the monsters. It just doesn't happen. This spell got released in Strixhaven's A Curriculum of Chaos, and it has really changed the dynamic of the game quite a bit and gotten rid of a lot of different critical hits on players. It's made things less deadly for players, and it has made things more deadly for, I think, for monsters and for the DM. I think the second part of this spell should actually be taken out. I play with this. I have a character who has this, and I use this constantly. And we have a paladin in the party, and I plop that advantage on the paladin, who then wails away at whatever they're going against with that advantage. I think this thing is powerful enough, and it's still an S with the first part. You don't really need to be able to give something else advantage. This is definitely not a first level spell, and that's another thing. I don't think this should be a first level spell. I personally think this should be like a 3rd to 5th level spell, somewhere in there. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I will catch everybody later.